Adam.
What, Tim?
Adam.
What?
Adam.
What?
Adam.
What?
Two things. First off, how do you like it?
Black, 5 sugars.
You're an idiot. And two, we have a huge show this week. Huge.
I don't know what you're talking about. Looking over the card here, we got predictions. I guess that'll be a big draw this week. It's going to be an easy show. Barely an inconvenience, super easy.
I think you got that wrong.
No. I'm reading the script right.
And are you stupid or something?
Do you really want me to answer that?
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. You know what time it is. It's As the Buckle Turns, the greatest pro wrestling podcast here on ZOP Gaming. My name is Adam.
I'm Tim.
What are you doing over there, Tim?
You're saying you know what time it is. It's 6:37. Does that mean something?
The show when they decide to click play or they get the notification, that's the right time to listen.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm just showing you how stupid you sound from the cold opener.
I hate you. You right now.
Yeah.
We have an action-packed episode this week.
Tim
is taking on a bear.
No, I'm taking on a saber-toothed tiger and a bear and Baby Yoda.
All right, it's Grogu. Grogu?
I don't know. I haven't watched it. I don't know anything about it, so stop spoiling it for me.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is all over the internet.
Yeah, I avoid that stuff because I don't go to Star Wars stuff. Anyway, we do have an action-packed thing. We thought predictions was going to be the big thing this week for Wargames. Little do we know, last night on Dynamite, one thing, actually multiple things, we're going to... okay, let me put it this way. One show would change everything, forcing us to put predictions, which we always put in the beginning of the show.
We try to, at least.
One of the first few things we talk about because it's one of the hot topics of the week that people can tune into. We have to put that at the end of the show. Literally, AEW did something that makes people not want to talk about one of NXT's favorite takeovers.
Yes.
With the War Games. To not be in the conversation or very the end of the conversation because of how big it is.
I know.
But before we do that, Adam...
we have to say goodbye. Goodbye, Pat Patterson. Wrestle in peace.
Yes. Pat Patterson passed away the other day. Was it Monday?
Yesterday.
Yesterday. Okay,
well, for us, yesterday. For everyone else, it was Wednesday.
Okay, it was Wednesday. I thought it was on Tuesday or Monday. I don't know. Anyway, yes, he passed away at the age of 79 due to cancer.
Yeah.
Didn't even know he was fighting cancer.
No idea.
A lot of people apparently didn't know this. He was just fighting it quietly in the behind, which is, seems to be a trait in 2020. People who have a disease that are fighting it in the background and then die, and people are like, oh, he died of that?
Yeah, just don't make it public. I mean,
what's his name?
Chadwick Boseman?
Yeah, Chad. Like, dude, I still, that one still hurts.
Yeah, because he was still, like, actively doing things for other people.
Yeah, and not just that, just like the fact that he's just an awesome actor, and the fact that we lost him so early.
True.
Unfortunately, thankfully, Pat Patterson actually had a full life though. Of 79, he got to he won multiple championships. The most well-known one was the Intercontinental, the first ever
Intercontinental Championship.
We were supposed to do a spot right here where Adam made fun of the 24/7 Championship, but he forgot his line.
No.
Yep.
I mean, honestly, I feel that the 24/7 Championship outweighs any claim about being the first what's an Intercontinental Champion? Seriously, 24/7, that's a real thing.
Oh, look, Adam remembered his spot. Well, I will.
Didn't need to call me out. I just hadn't gotten to it yet.
No, I wanted to call you out regardless because it's fun. It's fun for me.
You'd be that guy in the ring and be like, "You're supposed to be using the steps now," and you're like, "That's supposed to be for 4 moves from now."
Exactly. But yes,
I'll really use them.
I will have to agree with you on something about the 24/7 championship.
Yes,
it is the most sports entertainment championship ever.
Yes, it is.
Though the king of pro wrestling right now is trying to rival that, even in a company that is not sports entertainment.
No, but they're doing a very good job with it. They're doing the most New Japan thing with a sports entertainment idea I've ever seen. I would love for WWE or AEW to do a very Japanese specific a championship that is fought under hardstyle rules.
Yeah.
But you don't really have it.
No.
But it would be cool.
It'd be cool, but I don't think it's necessary anymore because when most of these hardcore championships, it was because of ECW, and then everyone stole from them, and no one really did it better.
Yeah, but
WWE did a very good version of sports entertainment version of hardcore wrestling.
Yep.
WCW just tried.
Their division was weak.
It was basically the 24/7 championship. Everyone that they didn't have plans for was in that division.
Yeah,
you could see
even the actual hardcore wrestling was just kind of it was like trying to imitate WWE's hardcore.
Yeah.
Even though WWE's hardcore division were a number of former WCW guys
or ECW guys
and ECW guys who were like,
no, we know how.
Mick Foley.
Yeah, Mick Foley.
Mick Foley was not truly allowed to show how good he could be regarding hardcore wrestling or deathmatch wrestling, however you want to call it, because WCW was trying to restrict him super.
Yeah.
So instead, he had to get creative with it.
Yeah.
Came over to WWE, and they're like, "No, you want to throw thumbtacks down? Go ahead."
Yeah. Not just that, but it's also the people who they had in their hardcore division. Yes, because you had a lot of people who were, you could say, would be in the 24/7 championship picture now, like Raven, if he was still wrestling. But no, the difference between the two divisions was simply that Raven, Al Snow, all these guys, they knew how to take hardcore wrestling and adapt the style, that method, to whatever promotion they were in.
Yes.
To match that product. Also, Vince and the agents also can help with that too.
Right.
But when you have smart, intelligent people who really wrote the book of the 90s version of hardcore in this country, coming from the promotion that made it popular, it's not going to be that hard to do. You're toning down the super extreme spots, but you still can get creative and have fun with it. It was only when they went to the 24/7 element of hardcore where it kind of got a little silly.
Yeah.
I mean, there were some spots that were actually really cool because it gave these people a spot chasing after and gave a little bit of comedy in a very action-packed show.
You were allowed to have a through storyline that just kind of was always there.
And it actually worked because it was the first time they were doing it. We're out as a 24/7 champion. We've seen this all before. They're not doing anything new.
Nope.
The only difference is it's not hardcore. But even though it can be hardcore because there's no rules. It's 24/7.
I know.
You can't be disqualified if you're defending it. It's just dumb. Anyway, but when Pat Patterson won the 24/7 championship, he became the oldest person to hold a championship.
I don't think it's ever going to be beaten.
I don't know. And
Vince?
I think Vince is going to win the Universal Championship at 90.
Okay, please don't say that.
Because
you know that things that get said in here become true.
But Vince has to make it to 90. God, he's gonna make it to 190.
Yes, he is. I hate you now. I hate you. Okay,
Vince is gonna make it to 3,000.
Okay, stop that. Anyway, Pat Patterson.
But yes.
Thank you so much for everything you've given to the company, especially that wonderful match at WrestleMania 2000. Was it WrestleMania?
No, it was a Raw.
It was a Raw in 2000.
Him and Jerry Briscoe versus the Mean Street Posse.
Oh, no. I'm talking the one against Briscoe.
Oh, you mean at the King of the Ring?
Yeah, the ball gown match.
Oh, God.
Thank you so much for that.
No, the best one was the Mean Street Posse and Gerald Briscoe and Pat Patterson, where they just beat they just beat them up. It was so great.
Doesn't make sense.
But yeah, you're gonna be missed. The outpouring from the wrestling community upon it.
Everyone telling a story.
Everyone. There's a very few who I saw who was just like a one word thing. Because it was probably just they couldn't come up with something at the moment because they're just processing and they just want to get something out there.
There could be some people in the industry who are like, honestly, I haven't met him.
We're not just
I never met him. I'm sorry.
Or not just that, but it's just like people who are just like they're still processing. Because I think I saw one that just said thanks because that's all they can come up with because it's a shock.
Yeah.
Or there's like, who knows? But
thanks 2020.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Taking Chad Boseman, Pat Patterson. Who else did we lost in 2020?
We lost 2020 in 2020.
Well, no, he hasn't. 2020 is never going to end. Remember, it's going to be December 31st,
11:60 p.m.
7:60 p.m.
No. It just switches over. It's like zeros across the board. You're like, it switched to zeros. You look at your phone. You're like, what's today's date? December 32nd, 2020. This year isn't going to end. And I'm like, no, it's not.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Twilight episode there.
It switches over. It's January 1st, 2020. You're like, no.
No. You can't reset.
We'll just do it again. Spin it back around. We'll run it one more time.
One more time. See if we can make it any better. It's
like, no.
Every time someone says, "Well, just play it again," it can't be any worse. It just keeps getting worse.
Except for one time, but nobody believes that it was the best year ever.
Better version.
The best version
of 2020.
So we just run it one more time.
And it's the worst version.
And that's the worst timeline.
It's like the person who's in charge of like, run it one more time. No. Only until he lands on the button that not only restarts it but hits the loop button.
Yeah.
But the impact also was enough to damage it, so
it can never be undone.
It can never be undone, and we're just stuck in 2020 looping.
Permanent looping. Every day is January 1st.
I don't want to go back to Florida.
I don't ever get to have another birthday.
Do you really want to have your face get any more disgusting with age?
I mean, it's not going to get any better.
True.
Or I could be that old guy that suddenly just looks good.
Yeah, I don't see that ever happening. Not with that face.
I hate you so much.
Yeah, I know.
All right. We need to talk about it because it's the pink elephant in the room right now.
Shawn Michaels over there in the corner.
AEW Dynamite this week. Going up against NXT, it's the ratings.
First off, before we get to the last night's ratings, we have to talk about last week's ratings,
which we didn't do. We didn't do last
because they didn't come out until Monday.
Yeah,
the holiday.
Because the holiday.
And it was reported that NXT beat AEW by 2,000.
2,000.
Only to find out on Tuesday, nope. They're changing it.
Nielsen reviewed the numbers one more time and said, nope, there was a tie.
You literally tie. The second time it's happened in the ratings war. They tied. But as always, AEW beat NXT in the demographic.
Well, of course.
Not by much, though, last week.
No.
It was actually very very close in the demo, which is always good to see.
Especially with a tie in the ratings.
Yeah. This week,
not so much.
You think going into this, when I went into after I saw the ratings.
Yep.
Last week, I was like, the go home show for NXT for Wargames. This might, and we have Moxie, Omega.
The go home show.
It's for the Wargames, a very popular NXT takeover. There's a potential that even though we have Moxley Omega main event for the world title,
Okay,
we
know what?
may still see NXT win it.
You're basically giving up the last quarter.
Yeah, we may actually see NXT still take
Overall, take it. Yeah.
Take it.
Or at the very least, it'll be really close.
Nope, because based on what happened last night, it came down to Adam. I'll let you read it because you love to read this stuff.
So NXT rolled in at 658,000 viewers. It's a drop of 54,000 from last week. Okay, no need to panic. It's only a 54,000 drop, except we have AEW with 913,000 viewers, up 201,000 from last week's 712.
Damn.
You know why? You know why?
Why is that?
Well, because
we just like AEW better and we just declared their victory?
No, Chris Jericho's on Dynamite.
Well, true.
That's all it was.
So the funny thing is last night...
the demo god.
So the funny thing is last night, before NXT or AEW started airing, for some reason I clicked on to Wrestling Inc.'s spots where the results were going to be posted and everything.
Yeah.
And I just scrolled down to the comments to see there were comments going on there. I switched back over. You had the people saying, the better show for NXT, and then you had the AEW, the best show on Wednesday night, AEW. I didn't really. There were some marks, one or two comments, people that are kind of marking against AEW, but there wasn't much like back and forth. Also, it's about a half hour before the show started.
Okay, expected.
But the AEW, there were people guessing what the ratings were going to be with Moxley Omega as the main event. Some people were picking $1 million and like 1 million views. And it was like, no, that's not going to be. I'm predicting they make 900,000, someone in 900K. And it's like, someone's like, no, that's still too high. I'm predicting like 835. Ooh. Well, the guy who said 900,000 was correct.
Yep.
And if people had an inkling of what was actually going to happen on this card, it probably would have broken 1 million.
Yeah. Yeah. So now we got to talk about what went on in this card. First of all,
breaking news: MJF and Orange Cassidy in the finals for the AEW Diamond Ring. That's the reason why everyone.
Huge. By the way, that opening battle royale.
Yeah, that was
awesome. Was pretty cool. I like the rule that they start outside the ring.
Yeah.
And then all rush in.
Yeah.
Which gave a story note to Scorpio Sky and Sean Spears, who
just stared at each other.
Now that I'm looking at him, Sean Spears is bigger than WWE ever framed him.
Yeah, they really did.
And I'm not talking him against your standard WWE guy. I expect him to look smaller than that.
Yeah.
But it's the actual way that they framed him on camera.
No, not even just that, but he also looked not just shorter the way they framed him, but he also looked less bulk.
Exactly.
Even when he went, I do think he put on a few extra pounds, like muscle, when he returned before he left WWE, but he still looked small.
Yeah. I don't know.
Size-wise and height.
Is it just something about their cameras?
I honestly don't know, because I was one of the first things, the first time I saw him, there's a few people I've seen on WWE TV who look tiny, and then they showed up on like Chris Van Vight's
and you're like, show. And damn, that dude's big.
He's his muscle, he's always been like detail, has muscles, but he didn't look that bulk, and not enough time has changed.
Holy crap, he's huge.
I think there's something with the framing. I don't know, honestly, but yes, that was not the reason why. Even though it was a great opener. It was a great opener.
Yes, it was.
The first thing is, we all thought Moxley and Omega were going to deliver, and boy, did they deliver.
They delivered.
Not in the way we were thinking it was going to deliver.
No, but I do like the fact that...
We'll get to that.
Okay.
Because I'm just pointing that out, because we're getting to the thing that happened after the tag team between Cody Rhodes and
Darby
Allin versus Team Taz of Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Stark. Sting has debuted.
Right. The man who wears black
and white
and carries a baseball bat with him.
The guy who made baseball bats fun and everyone wanted to hit someone with a baseball bat in the 90s.
And every wrestling video game ever since.
Yes. debuted last night, only to reveal that this whole winter is coming thing, which everyone was teasing this story, Game of Thrones, ha ha ha. Yeah, it's over.
Winter is literally coming.
It's 2 years ago. Yes, winter is technically coming here.
Oddly enough,
that whole
the
thing.
the night of the show, it was 49 degrees in Florida.
42 degrees.
42 degrees in Florida.
Yeah, they had heaters around.
So it was cold.
Yep.
for them.
But the whole thing was around the idea that it was right in front of everyone. This was saying winter is coming. Sting is winter, basically. Coming out for full face paint, as I loved it. Ollie Davis said in his review, in full makeup, so you don't see how old he is. He still looked old.
No, he still looked old.
And his hair was not black. It wasn't dyed. It actually worked for the whole winter thing, I thought.
It has a lighter tone.
Yeah, it worked for the whole winter thing.
Yeah.
And the whole package was his entrance for his music and everything was for the winter is coming, and it was in front of us the entire fucking time.
Exactly.
And he comes out. He didn't get physical. He just got in everyone's face that was in the ring. Arn Anderson. Holy shit, there's history right there.
Yes.
Dustin.
Yep.
Then to Cody.
Yep.
And I liked how Sting was looking at Cody.
By the way, Sting was getting uncomfortably close to everyone.
Yeah. Sting the way he was looking at Cody almost made me feel like Sting knows something that Cody's planning that he hasn't revealed yet.
Yeah.
In a way, I don't know. And I don't know. Can you possibly think what it might be?
There's trying to look. I'm looking at the fingers on my right hand, and they're curled just a little bit. My thumb refuses to move out.
Yeah, I know.
They're extended like 4 creatures that could gallop.
Yeah, exactly. Almost that's what it seems to me. I'm not saying this is what's happening, but they have been constantly teasing the 4 horsemen.
I know.
And then we got Sting and Darby, who just kind of stared at him extra long.
Oh, I absolutely love the fact that he looks at one side of Darby's face and then looks at the other.
Yeah.
And goes back and forth a couple of times. Like he's just looking at the makeup, looking at the kid.
Yep.
Looking at the makeup, you're looking at the man.
Yep.
And just over and over again. And I'm just like, and then...
Hey.
Also, by the way, Sting did so little.
Yeah.
But once again, the man who can just stand there and look at people and have so many words not spoken.
Yep.
Just, I don't know how he does it.
And also, not just that, but also how the fans reacted when they saw Sting. Tony Schiavone saying, "It's Sting!" You could tell he was emotional.
Oh, God, yeah.
Because, seeing Sting on TNT, 18 years since the last time. It was Sting and Flair who closed out the last Nitro. The last 2 people on wrestling on TNT.
Oh, wow.
One half of them had returned now. And
well, we'll never see Flair return.
No, I know. But it's just one of those things. There have been people who were saying, online, I know, when I was watching the Wrestle Talk, I think it was a podcast, but maybe in their Ollie's review, it mentioned that how there were people who said they would never watch, they didn't take AEW seriously, but they found out, they heard Sting debuted, and now they're interested in AEW.
See, Sting is a draw. He brings a gravitas to wherever he goes.
Not just that he's a draw, but it's just like that. The fact that Sting is willing to go there shows these people something that no, this is legit. This is not some indie promotion like another indie promotion. No, there's something there. So they're willing to pay attention to it. They're willing to give him a shot.
Yeah.
Which is great. And yes, and then it came out that he signed a multi-year deal.
Multi-year deal.
And yes, Sting is cleared to wrestle because he had a surgery for his stenosis, similar like how Edge can come back, and he can wrestle again. We don't know how much we honestly don't know for a fact if he is going to wrestle.
You're right.
For sure. But the way things were teased gives you an idea there may be some wrestling involved. And Well, only time will tell. Tony Schiavone will sit down with Sting next week
Ooh.
to find out.
Are we going to get sunglasses Sting for the interview?
We don't know.
Will we get the crow Sting who will just suddenly stand in the corner and not say anything the entire time?
But the JR was saying something about the way he said it was like, yeah, we'll have Sting, we'll have a conversation, and Tony, I think you should, I vote for you to do that interview. He's like, I'll do that, and Tony Schiavone's doing it. It's the perfect,
oh yeah,
like, little thing there. So that'll be interesting to see. But yeah, no one saw that coming.
Not at all.
There was a few people who got a little whiff of it right before it happened because some people in the back texted some people like they knew. It's like, dude, if you're not watching AEW right now, turn the channel. Because they literally just saw Sting walk by.
Well, weird thing though, the whole, so and so is all elite.
Yep.
That standard thing that gets put out by AEW.
Yep.
I was seeing during the day yesterday on Twitter, on Facebook, I was seeing Sting is hashtag all elite. And I was like, I mean, that's a great, ha ha ha. I'm like, that's a great Photoshop. It would be cool to see it happen.
Yeah.
But we've said it was going to happen a while ago and it didn't.
Everyone was saying that. Like even Luke Owen on the podcast, he was saying like, that was my prediction for the question for Full Gear. That was like 3 weeks ago. I completely forgot. Like, you're so focused on Moxley Omega. You're like, that's the big thing happening.
Yep.
Kenny's most likely going to win it. So no one was paying attention. And it's like, oh, this is the thing that's going to happen. And basically this became a red herring to the big event that was going to happen that night, only to lead into the next big thing. But before we get there, Adam, is there anything else you want to add about Sting and all that?
No.
Because I do, but it ties into what happens in the main event.
Okay, go ahead then.
So
let's talk about the main event.
The main event. First off, anyone who is expecting this to be the drag-out, brawl, awesome technical matchup that we know would have these two could pull out if they wanted, this was not it.
No.
It was never meant to be that.
No,
clear.
Because one of the great things I like about the two of them working together is that it's Jon Moxley is a brawler.
Yes.
And Kenny goes, I'll meet you on your ground. I will brawl right with you. And we'll go toe to toe. Like last time, that's what they wanted. Kenny Omega Moxley 2. It wasn't as it was within sanctions.
It was a
for the belt.
For the belt and count for the rules.
Yep. So they couldn't go as far as last time.
No, but also Kenny's whole thing was, we're gonna have it. Last time it was on your ground, so we're gonna have it mine, and a gentleman's agreement to this. Moxie said, "Fuck your basic gentleman's agreement. I'm gonna come out here. I'm gonna brawl. I'm gonna punch you in the face. I dare you to punch me. It's hard. Back as hard as you can." Which was foreshadowing for a spot later in the match.
Yes,
which was an awesome spot.
Which is a great spot. Moxley literally sets up 2 chairs in the ring, sits down on one, tells Kenny to sit in the other one, and they just start slapping each other.
He's just like, hit me. So Moxley slaps him. John slaps him back right in the ear. The first time he hits him, he smacks him, and then they smack him get back. Then he smacks Kenny in the ear. And then he goes to jabs.
I'll be honest, the first one from Kenny looked like it came, like it caught Omega, Moxley just a bit harder than Moxley expected, because you see him pause for a second. He's just like,
okay.
Whoo!
He's like, okay.
All right. Boom! Hits him.
Then we go to the jabs.
And then they start jabbing each other.
And then Moxley hits Kenny with a big one that he stumbles back. Now remember, Moxley said, I dare you to hit me as hard as you can. Moxley forgetting...
Moxley?
Moxley's forgetting that Kenny, as hard as he can, is not with a fist.
Nope.
It's with a knee. And Kenny lays him out with a V-trigger out of the chair. And it's glorious.
Oh, the series of V-triggers near the end.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Where it really looked like Kenny was just backing off. He'd hit one, run to the other side of the ring, and wait a second to see where Moxley was going to end up to hit him with the next one.
That's good. It goes right, ties right into the finish. We'll get there in a second. But, I mean, what we're kind of talking about kind of makes this match sound like it's an amazing match. And it is a very good matchup. It's a supremely excellent matchup for TV.
Yes.
If you got this matchup at a pay-per-view, you'd be very disappointed.
It's about 30 minutes long.
Yeah,
though.
it's 30 minutes long. And they were constantly saying that it's 60-minute time limit. And they constantly said that if it goes past the 10 o'clock hour, we will stay to the finish. TNT has granted us that. So if we go 60 minutes, we're getting 60 minutes. You don't have to worry about being cut off by TNT. Which is a great little plug for that.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is, this was an excellent, superior TV match. But again, if this happened on a pay-per-view, people would be very disappointed. But again, I say it's not a bad matchup. But if depending on where you put it,
it's controversial.
Yeah, it would have been people would have been just disappointed if it was on a pay-per-view.
No, I don't think so.
I think so. They would have expected a little bit. They would expect more out of it. I think, but it was still a very good matchup. It's funny how people were comparing this matchup. Being this matchup, the first part is nothing really special to talk about it.
No. First 15 minutes are like they move really well.
Yeah, they move well, but it's like nothing really special or anything, which gets compared to Okada matches a lot, because Okada matches, a lot of them are the first part is not meant to be anything special.
A lot of rest holds, a lot of hit your opponent, and then
feel them out.
You're really trying to test each other out to see where you're at that point.
But it's also because the beginning of the match isn't the important part. It's building so everything makes sense in the second part.
Well, of course. And finish.
That's exactly what happens here. Once we start getting Kenny starts getting the control, the dragon whip, dragon screw on Moxley's knee.
Oh, and then just working Moxley's knee.
Yeah.
Over and over again.
Moxley fighting back. The paradigm shift. And then the chair spot, then the V-trigger spot, then Moxley fighting back, which leads into our finish.
Yeah, the open, they brawl into the chairs.
Yep.
Like into the seating for a little bit.
Which is, again, Moxley's territory.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but this leads to the finish. Now, before we get to the finish, we gotta make it something very important here. Like a lot of Kenny's matches recently, his good friend... basically his godfather.
You could say that. His dad's best friend.
Yep.
Or his uncle's best friend.
Uncle's best friend. Don Callis was on commentary again. So a spot happens when they go outside, and Moxley paradigm shifts Kenny into the concrete and into a heater at ringside, which you can tell he's not on.
It's clearly on.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
Yes, because the commentary said it was on, therefore it was on.
Of course. Did you not see the heat billowing off from there?
No, that's why I know it's not on.
Okay, well,
But anyway, it was part of the spot, but the ref pulls Moxley away because it looks like Moxley's injured. He's calling for people.
You mean Omega was injured?
Omega was injured, my bad. Omega was injured. Don Callis takes his headset off and goes on the ring because he's concerned about his friend.
Yeah.
Everything. Eventually, they're getting all there. Moxley says, "You what? Like, no, he's injured." He's like, "Well, let me finish this.
We're gonna finish this.
We're gonna finish this, and then he can get help." Throws him back in the ring. Goes to do this. Don Callis goes to get some mic to try to insist that Moxley let Omega get help.
Yeah,
he's injured. Moxley decks him.
And he drops the mic.
Kenny grabs the mic, hits Moxley dead in between the eyes.
I like it in your head that Kenny grabs the mic and then hits himself in the head, right between the eyes.
Moxley hit me. But hits Moxley between the eyes, which we all know in wrestling terms means
any place above the eyebrows.
It's the forehead. Because
any place along the forehead.
And when you watch it, it's clearly in the forehead, but commentary right between the eyes.
Right between the eyes.
Well, this is it. That's a wrestling thing anywhere. When they say they hit you right between the eyes, it's always the forehead.
I love the fact that it's also a live mic, so you get from all the speakers in the Daily Place the thump.
Yeah.
Just boom.
And it's a lower thump, but it's there. And then then Kenny, Moxley's busted open. Because it's not a Moxley match, but then it gets busted open in some way recently.
You know it has to happen.
And then Kenny just unleashes the V-triggers. And this is a spot where you were talking about how the last 4 V-triggers is he hits one. Moxley in the corner. Moxley falls against the ropes. Kenny hits another one. Moxley falls into the corner. He has to position himself a little bit because if he didn't position himself, the V-trigger probably could have actually injured him because where his head was. But it was very smooth on how they flowed, which then led to the One Wing Angel and new AEW World Champion Kenny Omega.
Kenny is champ now.
But that's not... So there we go. Yes, we have it. And people were happy. And
then Adam Page came out and challenged him for the championship. No, that didn't happen.
No, it didn't happen.
That would have been a perfect world, though.
Though Hangman Page had an awesome spot in the Battle Royal.
Yes, he did. Dark Order caught him and tossed him back in and went, no, you go back in there.
And he shot over the rope, hit a buckshot lariat, only for Matt Hardy to eliminate him and get booed.
No, that was Silver that he eliminated.
No, he got booed too for that a little bit. Because Silver already got eliminated. So the next person that people wanted to see win got eliminated by Matt Hardy too. So he got booed even more.
I love the fact that it's Matt Hardy that got booed.
Yeah.
The first one that he eliminated was John Silver.
No, it was Alex Renner he did, but John Silver then got eliminated. And boy, fans were not happy about that.
John Silver and Orange Cassidy are probably the 2 most actually over people with the crowd.
Yeah. Like
everyone expects Kenny to be over with the crowd.
Yeah.
You're going to get a pop out of him. But Orange Cassidy and John Silver were almost no one knew who they were a year ago.
Only indie people really knew, like the hardcore indie people knew who Orange Cassidy was. That's why when he showed up on Dynamite, the first Dynamite, he got a big pop because there were tons of indie people who knew exactly who he was.
Exactly. I had to look him up.
I've seen a few things before this, so when I saw him on, I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool.
I only knew him by his gimmick beforehand.
Yeah, that's how I knew it because I saw the gimmick and I saw him wrestle Kylie Ray.
Oh, okay.
And that was a fun little spot thing. I'm like, okay, I didn't understand it. I'm like, what is this? But anyway, what happens next? Because this is not over. It wasn't just Kenny celebrating. No. Don Callis grabs the belt, gives it to Kenny. He puts it on, and they immediately exit the ring.
They just start leaving.
They're leaving. The important note: they had to go through the babyface entrance.
Well, yeah, because Kenny's a babyface.
Well, no, because they had to go through that one so they can make sure they walk directly past Tony Khan, not come out of the heel one, and go
closest to the exit,
and then turn, which would have been weird.
It would have been way closer.
They were looking for a direct path, obviously, and Tony's back there going, "What was that?" And they just keep going.
Well, because it's obvious that Don Callis helped Kenny at the very end. He distracted Moxley.
Yes.
Causing Moxley to punch him, which he kind of threw rolled the mic over to Kenny.
But the whole thing is, as they're going through the back, you see people asking what was that? Questioning, all having masks on. It's good people.
Yes, good job.
Heading towards the back, and I know a lot of people were thinking that this is we'll get the Young Bucks heel turn spot thing.
They'll meet him outside and be like, "Ha ha, let's go, bro."
Going in Raw. When they were watching this, they were apparently they were watching it live. We're mocking haha, wouldn't it be funny? It's well, you'll get the answer on Impact Tuesday on Impact and all that, mocking it the wishful thinking.
Yeah,
we get to the vehicle from All Out.
All Out. Yeah.
Rolls up like he did, and then Alex Marquez is there. He's like, what was going on? What's happening? And not Kenny.
Nope.
Don Callis says, you want to know what happened? We'll be more than happy to tell you on Tuesday. He's like, Tuesday? Like what? Dynamite's on Wednesday. He's like, Tuesday on Impact on Access TV Tuesday night. And gets in there.
And then
they
speeds
away. Oh, Impact Wrestling is invading AEW.
What the hell is going on?
It's like,
Because this leads into all out,
Yep.
where Kenny was like, get in the car, you're either with me or you're not.
Yes, it does. I mean, this is something we actually didn't talk about earlier. And I was going to mention it at some point, but like this goes all the way back to that. We didn't know if someone else was in that car.
No.
Apparently there was. I'm going to assume that we're going to find out Don Callis was in that car when he got there.
I'm going to assume that it was Don Callis this entire time.
Yeah. And this whole spot, like this whole thing, was right in front of us the whole time, like Sting, because Don Callis was at Full Gear. We saw some in the package for the number one contender tournament. I can't remember what they were calling it at the moment.
Yeah.
The Eliminator tournament.
Yes.
He had an interview there. He was on commentary at Full Gear. So having him out there, it was like, okay, Kenny wants him to be on.
Don was on a couple of other Kenny matches as well.
It's just like he's there. He wants him to be there. So it's just a natural for him to be there. It makes sense, especially for a world title one.
Yeah.
He was at Full Gear to earn the shot. Now he's at there. Makes sense.
It's his lucky rabbit's foot.
Yeah. It does. Like, we're not expecting anything because also early in the night we're all expecting. Oh, the Sting was the big thing of the night. Yes, Kenny.
Sting is here. All right, we're just going to have a standard. It's going to be a great match to close out the night. We're going to go home happy.
Kenny may still win the world title, but the big thing was Sting arriving.
Yeah. Sting was the big thing here.
Nope. Kenny still won, but we get...
Kenny has defected to Impact with the title.
Holy shit. Now, here's even a bigger puzzle piece we got to figure out. Because it's well known, Impact has finished taping for the rest of the year.
Exactly.
We mentioned this last week. All the episodes of Impact have been taped up to the Go Home show to their Hard to Kill pay-per-view.
Yep.
So apparently, not everything has been taped. I'm assuming all the matches have been taped.
Right.
All the talent stuff. They can obviously now tape with Don Callis and Kenny anytime.
It's a promo.
A promo to put into the next week's episode. That's like just going to go into the area that they're doing their tapings from, and they'll do a live, and it'll just be the people now that it's out. I think a better promo would be better.
Yeah.
But again, it's just like, holy shit. But then you think that's enough. No,
there's more stuff lurking in the background.
But not just that. But before we get to some of that,
okay,
because we gotta go and go once this hits. Immediately, Dax at the FTR, the North. He wants the North.
Well, because they're basically saying that there is an alliance now, ladies and gentlemen.
And you just start seeing people on both sides saying,
I want
this dream match.
I want
this
that.
dream match.
This dream match. We can do this. We can do that.
I can't remember who posted. They posted a picture of the Young Bucks as Generation Me from TNA.
Oh, no, I've actually seen a version of that. They were like, I'd love to see the Young Bucks take on these guys.
Yeah.
It was like, wait, no, that's the same people.
Then you have Carl Anderson or Gallows. I can't remember which one it was posted as, well, this is interesting. Or I think it was like, Let It Begin. Or It Begins or something like that. It's just interesting. You're just seeing all these possible matchups between people there. I saw one person who saw, they said they wanted to see Chris Statlander when she returns versus Tyra Valkyrie.
Okay.
Out there. Some people were in the chat for Wrestle Talks podcast were saying they want to see Su Young versus Thunder Rosa.
Personally, Su Young versus Abaddon.
That's what it was. That was it. It was Abaddon.
Jesus Christ, dude, that was incredibly loud.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And I'm not looking at a spike. That was just actually loud in
I don't know
here.
what you're talking about. But the people like there, it's like, yeah.
I know.
Like, it's just like.
So.
And then we go back to Tony's original thing about a few weeks ago after Full Gear. The landscape of wrestling is about to change. And then we get Pac returning and nothing else really big. And people are like, what did you say? Like, it's like, well, it happens over multiple shows. It's not on one show.
Yeah, it doesn't happen overnight.
Pac is the first one in there, so just relax. Things are coming.
Yeah.
Not gonna give you all in one show.
Remember, winter's coming.
Yeah. Then we can start getting the tease for winter's coming. And holy shit, people were thinking Tony may have boasted a little too big and wasn't gonna be able to deliver. Holy, nope, he delivered.
No, it looks like Tony has delivered a working agreement with Impact.
Yeah. And we already know they have a working agreement with NWA right now.
Yeah. AEW already has a working agreement with NWA.
Yep.
Now Impact, it turns out, is trying to work on strengthening their relationship.
They don't have a relationship with New Japan yet. There's no relationship there. But there's been rumors that they're getting very close to a better some kind of relationship with New Japan. Because
Did New Japan completely cut their ties with Impact then?
Yeah, well, they the reason why New Japan was taken off Access TV was because when they bought what is it? Who's the parent company of Impact? The
Anthem.
Anthem. When they bought Access TV, the reason why they stopped airing New Japan was they wanted to have a relationship with New Japan. They wanted to have a working relationship with like Ring of Honor. And then if they get that, New Japan can still have that show on Access TV. New Japan said no, so they took them off. That's why they went away. They've made it very clear they want to. And part of it was because a lot of people are assuming it was because of how TNA, back in the day, under Vince Russo, booked some of their now top talent.
Oh, let's see. Okada as Kato.
Yep.
Naito.
He was there, but I actually don't think the big issue was
Okada.
It was Okada,
Who immediately came back and within a year won the championship.
Yep. So there's because he was Okada in TNA originally, but then when Vince Russo got his hands, he said,
and then he became Kato.
I'm gonna be
a Bruce Lee ripoff.
I'm gonna be very racist about this.
Yep.
And I'm gonna do the traditional WWE thing and make him, no, it wasn't a Bruce Lee ripoff.
No, it really is.
No, he was a driver. He was a
yeah. Kato is the driver for the Green Hornet.
Yeah.
It's a character that Bruce Lee played on the show, the Green Hornet.
Oh, I didn't realize that was Bruce Lee. Honestly.
Yeah, that's Bruce Lee.
Did not know that.
By the way,
yeah.
Also, now this is a cultural thing between Japan and China. Bruce Lee is from Hong Kong.
Okay.
Viewed as being Chinese, even though not actually Chinese, but Japan considers that Chinese.
Okay.
And they don't like the Chinese. So giving a Japanese man a role, even if it is Bruce Lee,
yep.
a role for a character that was Chinese
would be very insulting.
Is insulting.
Very insulting.
Yes, I can see Okada being like, well, I mean, it's a role that Bruce Lee had, so that's really cool. But New Japan as a company would go, are you fucking kidding me?
Yep.
That would be like, me being cast as as a Nazi.
Yeah.
I'd be like, no, I can't do that. Fuck you.
So yeah, it's just that's the rumors why a lot of this.
But there is still the rumor that they're working on getting and securing a good relationship.
Apparently, that's the rumor that they're.
I mean, it also helps that you have a number of guys who have been working in Japan recently. Relatively recently.
Well, I don't necessarily recently, but it's just the rumors is that the connections are now forming.
Yes. Especially after Harold Mage has been fired.
Well, he was not fired. He was asked to step down, which means you're fired.
Yeah, that's major corporate speak for
you're fired.
You were fired.
No, it's basically saying we're firing you, but we're gonna let you go out the honorable way of resigning.
Yes.
Instead of actually saying you're fired. But you are fired because we're asking for your rent. You just step down.
You still need to leave by 5. Otherwise, security will physically pull you off the property.
And there's also been rumors that now that with him gone, that the relationship between AEW and New Japan could actually happen because he was the one who took it personally that the Young Bucks and Kenny left to start AEW.
He wasn't even the president yet, was he?
He was.
Oh, he recently came in.
It was because of him that they were having a big issue with backstage.
Yeah.
And how they were treating talent and looking at it. That's spoken, and then they left, so they were the biggest stars, and then he took it personal. So that's the reason I believe is
Big stars leave your company all the time.
Yeah, but because the reason is believed that he took it personally because he was not being respecting him, apparent probably, and then they laughed. Who knows? But apparently he was the main reason why there's no relationship. So, but who knows? If that does turn out, whoo!
Okay, so that would mean that we would have a AEW, Impact, NWA, Ring of Honor,
questionable
Ring of Honor, but through New Japan Ring of Honor. Once again, that's a strained relationship right now. It's a
strange relationship, mostly because of the pandemic. They were repairing their relationship up to the pandemic.
But coming out of this pandemic,
we don't know.
We could have New Japan, Ring of Honor, Impact, AEW, and NWA sharing talent.
You're forgetting one person, one more group.
What's this one?
AAA, remember?
Oh, crap, that's true.
And there's actually someone over in England that they have a working relationship, but they just haven't really used them because it's over in England. But they have a tie with them. I can't remember the name of the company.
Rev Pro.
No, no, that's New Japan. But if you have New Japan, you're gonna have Rev Pro.
Yeah.
But I think that I'm pretty sure there's they have a tie, of people working from England. I'm pretty sure through AEW.
I mean, if this is the pieces that are falling in.
Yep.
Like, if this is how it's going down, I am going to absolutely love how they're going to, because you're going to be able to have talent everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be a competition between each of them anymore.
Nope.
They're like, no, we can share this talent.
The thing is, you will have to get some kind of working agreement. Like, okay, we won't approach your talent. If your talent, if certain people's company's talent, like New Japan talent, who says, I would like to go and work in the States more.
Okay, well, so, there's Impact.
My contract is coming up, so I'm gonna go I'm gonna go to the States. I want to work with Impact. So, but my contract's coming up, so they can work because the contract's coming up. They can say, I'm gonna go to work for the States a little bit more. I still work for New Japan. I can still come and do stuff in New Japan through their lines, but my contract will be through Impact because I just want to work a little bit more in the States than I can through you. But you have to. It's like you're not poaching your talent specifically, but if the talent decides they want to come and work for us, you can. It's something like that. You have to work that out. How that's going to work.
Honestly, it would be exactly the same way that NFL teams do it.
Yeah.
Like, there would be trades.
Yeah.
There would be contract purchases.
That would be the best way to do it. And everything.
People become free agents.
But once someone's contract comes up,
that's when they become a free agent.
A free agent. That's when they can say, okay, if they let the company know that they're not going to resign, or they're saying, I'm interested in resigning, but I am going to put my services up for everyone in the alliance to bid on me.
The best part of this is the fact that you go, all right, so we know that the contract is coming up. That will be up as of such and such date. Yep. At that point, a bidding war for this talent will happen.
Yep. But they'll still be able to be used on everyone's shows because of the alliance. There will be obviously certain people who will never. Cross over.
Much
like Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, they're going to be.
They probably will retire through AEW
because they're the executive.
They're franchise players.
Okada
will probably retire through New Japan.
Kota Ibushi, who just signed a 10-year deal.
Now, what would be cool with him, though, is that he's like, I will have my last match in Impact. And you're like, wait, what? And he's like, yeah, random thing. AAA. My very, very, very final match. I will work my way around, but my final match, my final promo, will be here. I'll just suddenly get injured and not be able to compete at Wrestle Kingdom 29.
That would be really funny. I'd love to see Okada, the Kota Ibushi to say his last match be in the, I think it's what's the promotion that he was in before? That Kenny was in there too. That the Golden Sluggers were mostly
DDT.
DDT, having his last match through DDT.
Against a blow-up doll.
Yes. This time it's
And
Kota,
he loses.
It's Kota Ibushi's turn to have the blow up doll match up.
Yeah.
And he loses.
Kenny won his match.
Yeah. He got lucky.
It was not an easy match,
No, it
though.
wasn't.
You watch that back. That
Well, this
blow-up
is-
doll was giving Kenny so much of the business.
Yes, but the thing is, though, I mean, it's kind of sad, though, that Kenny can go beat a blow-up doll, but he can't beat a 10-year-old girl.
You know,
They went to a draw. He didn't lose, but he didn't win
there
either.
are certain things that happen in this world that physics just cannot explain.
I still love that clip of that matchup. It's mostly Kenny, but the girl is very talented. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Acrobatics.
But Kenny is clearly carrying
yeah.
her through the match.
He's carrying through the match, but the spots and how she can just flow through the air is her. Very beautiful. Very just like, damn.
Yep.
And her selling job.
Yep.
She does a very good job of selling on her own. If she decides to go pro,
She probably already is.
probably
Because that was like 8 years ago.
I think I looked her up at one point. I don't think she actually is in the wrestling business.
Oh,
but
okay.
I think it would have been great if she did, because she would have been awesome. But yeah, the fact that Cornette still can't get over those two things, he's an idiot.
Cornette, you're... Nope. You know what? We're not even talking about Corny.
No.
Because it has nothing to do with it. You know why? Because we need to move on from this alliance.
But first off, the funny thing is, this alliance thing with Impact is like, it was only a few weeks ago we were trying to come up a time to fantasy book this alliance.
Yeah, and then
looks
it starts happening.
It starts happening. We're really gonna nerd out when New Japan joins this alliance as
I'm
well.
gonna totally nerd out. I am gonna be rock solid, move from 6 to midnight nerd.
As Ali Davis wanted to thank Tony Khan for physically proving that it is very possible for men to have multiple orgasms back to back.
Exactly. Okay, anyway. Moving on from the alliance, we're going to probably over the next couple of weeks start fantasy booking what's going on.
Oh, but the last thing before we there.
What?
Because it ties into that Sting thing. Because what is Sting known for? He's known for two things.
Hanging out, fighting the NWO,
He's known
and
for
hanging
WCW.
out in rafters.
He's known for WCW and Impact.
I mean, yeah.
So it's just kind of funny. His debuts the same night this announced. He's known for Impact Wrestling
That
very
Kenny
well.
defects off to Impact.
Yeah. So it's just kind of funny. I think it's a great little tie-in. It's almost like a little nod to it in a sense.
I mean, speaking of WCW, I have news.
What's the news?
For all of you Dub fans out there, I mean, you're getting a reboot. It's happening.
Way to blow another angle, idiot.
Don't worry about it. Once again, I haven't gotten to my spot.
No, my spot was supposed to do the WCW thing.
Because the real thing, though, is this is fake news. This is fake news. The real story is that we're actually getting WCPW. That's the real story. This WCW stuff, absolutely fake. There is not going to be a reboot starting on October 20th, 2021.
Taking place from some shithole warehouse in Mary Lake, Florida.
Yes, Lake Mary, Florida.
Lake Mary, Florida.
Skystorm. Actually, it turns out that Skystorm's Productions has claimed that they have nothing to do with this. So clearly, this press release, which was released on the 1st, absolutely fake. Absolutely fake. Let me go ahead and read you the real one, though. So, no, that's not Twitter. There's Twitter. The real one. The real one released on the 1st of December 2020. It's regarding WCPW. Earlier this morning, an announcement was made on Twitter on our Twitter account that we were bringing back the once popular wrestling promotion on October 10th, 2021 via Pachiti Productions. Sorry, can't speak suddenly. Unfortunately, the reception was met with a lot of mixed to negative reception online, as many people believed that that we did not had any rights to the original WCPW as originally thought. And thought this was a hoax, which led to our original tweet being criticized. We want to assure the fans of the upcoming WCPW reboot that we do in fact have rights to the original property. However, What Culture told us that we can have only 50% of the original WCPW, meaning that we can have the rights to some of the logos, pay-per-views, merchandise, and character names. This afternoon, we contacted What Culture via Gmail in regards to having future tapings and events at shitty Newcastle warehouse for next year and in the future, and we'll be discussing this over with them later this week over the phone. 2021 will be a great year for wrestling fans, and want to let you all know that we do want to make the upcoming reboot special. Our first pay-per-view event, Loaded, will be live on YouTube, Twitter, and on Twitch on October 20th, 2021. And once we have communicated with What Culture, then we will be using their location to have future shows and events. Thank you and have a great evening, Adam Pacitti, owner and CEO.
Yeah. Way to botch the spot, because the whole point was you're supposed to bring that up, then me saying, hey, that sounds familiar to a WCW thing, and read the exact same thing. You botched another spot, Adam. You're an idiot.
I didn't botch it.
Yes, you did.
I'm in control of my show.
You botched another spot.
I'm calling it on the fly. We're doing it live.
You spot botcher.
We're calling it at the table.
You're spot botcher.
I'm calling the spots. You either follow along or you get left
You
behind.
spot botcher.
Anyway, that's right. It was. It's been proven that WCW is not not gonna happen.
No,
WCPW though
it's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen. All of this is fake. Skystorm Productions, who have worked with WCW back in the 90s and WWE, are not doing anything.
No, they don't own the rights because WCW is owned by WWE.
Yeah.
They cannot. They'd have to purchase the name from Vince McMahon.
I know.
Which at this point, I think you might actually get. If he thought he could get some money out of it, he probably would. He would sell the name.
Or he'd name the Performance Center WCW.
You do something, anything you could do to get some money out of it. If someone came up and like, I want to buy the names and the name WCW, and we were to use it, and if the price was right, I think Vince would say sure.
Oh, sure.
It's
He's
more
like,
money
I
for
made
me.
money.
But yeah, it's not happening. It's dumb.
It is.
And anyone who believes it is just an idiot.
Wait, what?
Case in point.
Shut up.
So what else we got on the docket there, Adam?
We have predictions.
Predictions?
We have predictions to get to. No, literally, that's it.
Isn't there something else in there I said we were supposed to talk about?
Yeah, it was. You missed your spot on that one.
I don't remember where it was on the list.
It was changes to AEW Dark.
Oh, yeah.
You missed all of the AEW talk. You had your window.
Well, because I don't have the copy.
Why don't you write down your script?
You write it down. You're supposed to provide me a copy of it. It's in the napkin.
Once again, that napkin doesn't count.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's a full contract. It exists. It's in the napkin.
It's 44 pages long. It's just the napkin.
It's 44 napkins long. Anyway, just going back to AEW, Tony Khan was talking about how in the future there's possibly make some changes to Dark.
Okay.
One thing was like possibly taking and making it focusing more on it being a show focused on younger talent to get them over.
Yeah, why not?
And other talent up on a different show. There's a lot of things. So there's possibly something that we could be seeing coming in the future. Where right now is used to get over some older, younger talent. You get them
older
experience.
talent.
But also to get their primary talent wins and losses. Wins
of course.
To build them up when they're not being in a major storyline. Introduce new talent, all that stuff. So it will be interesting to see where they go from this for that. But yeah, it's been changed. It's there. Another thing that Tony Khan in that same interview announced that they have had talks. It's not confirmed, but have talked about bringing in the Trios Championships.
Yes, that's true.
He said it will not happen in 2020 if it does happen.
No, it's too. We have a couple of weeks left in the year.
Yeah.
It's not happening this year.
But he's also said he's really focused on getting through Bash at the Beach. It's not Bash at the Beach special that's coming up in January. There's another name for it. I'm pretty sure it's because there's a legal element over Bash at the Beach going on right now between them and WWE. Because they tried to trademark it, WWE.
AEW just used it.
Yeah, I know, but they're trying to say that they have it because they own WCW.
Yeah, but it's specifically a show called that is allowed to be.
I know, but it's
because what the footage and everything that they have is WCW Bash at the Beach.
I know.
The show that went on last year is AEW Bash at the Beach.
Yeah, I know. It's just they're not calling it this year, so
yeah.
I'm assuming it has to do with they're fighting over the
You know what?
the rights.
Fine. They're just going to call it King of the Ring because WWE hasn't used that in a while.
I know. But so they call it something else, but he's like, I want to get through that. Then we have Revolution. So maybe at some point, it made it sound like if they're going to, it may be somewhere in that time period between that whatever the show's called and Revolution.
Okay.
And the finals being there, maybe. If
maybe.
They do it, who knows? It will be interesting to see if they do bring these belts in. I'd prefer them not to bring them in. I mean, I'm not opposed to it.
It's going to happen.
Oh, it's probably at some point they will. I'd rather them spend more time on the women's division and set up for the women's tag team championships that they said that we were going to get.
No. The best part of that, Impact already has it.
No, they don't. They're going to have them.
But that's where it's going to be.
No.
Eventually, the the AEW women's title will be combined with the Impact Knockouts Championship, and it will just be called the Knockouts Championship.
No.
And really, Impact will be where the women shine the best.
No, it's not. But it will be interesting to see when they do bring it in. But they've been doing a very good job the last few weeks. I want to give them credit for the credit's due. They've been doing a very good job for the women's division lately. I mean, this week they only had one women's matchup. But it's furthered the Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker storyline.
Yep.
It set up a kind of further Abaddon introduced scaring the living shit out of Sheeta.
I don't know what you're talking about.
From last week. So which we didn't get much time because they knew they had to get accomplished this week, and it was fine. Let's just hopefully they'll continue with their momentum with the women's division and multiple stories. In the next few weeks.
Yeah.
But they have been doing a very good job the last few weeks. So let's give them credit because we've been especially me, have been critical of their women, how they've been using their women. So hopefully it will continue.
Yeah.
But yes, eventually they will bring them in. It will be interesting to see. But who knows? They do have some very good trios right now.
Exactly.
But again, it's just one more men's championship where I'd rather see them spend the time on the women's. And start building ready for the women's tag division. But it is what it is. We're still in a pandemic, so it does kind of the women's division is the one that gets hit the hardest because of it.
Yeah.
But only time will tell. But yes, now we can move on to predictions.
All right.
How much time do we have for predictions?
You have less than 20 minutes.
Wait, less than 20 minutes?
Yes, look at the clock.
Plenty of time. No, I'm looking at the card.
Okay, no, look at the time as well. That way you don't tell me that I'm cheating you out of time.
And we both know how this is going to go. I'm going to say you're cheating me out of time regardless.
I know. All right, so it's time
You're cheating me out of time, Adam.
Shut the hell up. It's time to get on to predictions with NXT. Not WWE Wargames. NXT Wargames.
Oh, God.
4?
Oh,
or do we
3.
even have a number?
It's not even 4. It's not even numbers, but it's the 4th War Games.
Yeah.
But they're not doing by numbers. But yeah. God, if WWE and Vince tried to do War Games, he would ruin it. He would ruin it.
Yes, totally.
Like he's ruined Hell in a Cell.
Okay, so let's go ahead and go down this list here on Wikipedia.
Yes.
Right away, we have the women's War Games match. Team Shotzi Blackheart, Ember Moon, Rhea Ripley, and Io Shirai versus Team Candice, headed by Candice LeRae, with Dakota Kai, Raquel Gonzalez, and Toni Storm.
I will say this. I saw the new look that Toni Storm is going with now that she's a heel.
Yeah.
Looking pretty good. I'm liking the look, the change in the look.
All right.
She's looking basically it's a typical like what you'd see in the 90s when the women would turn heel. They go like they change a big.
They suddenly start wearing more black makeup.
Not just more black makeup, but they make a look that make them look more like a badass or like more darker or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's doing
Lots
that.
of black leather.
I don't know about black leather. I didn't see that, but she looks like she's a heel.
Oh, okay.
The way so it's kind of cool. Last night, Team Shotzi got the advantage.
All right.
Well, for a change, the baby faces get the advantage.
What? No.
So the heels are going over.
Yes. So Team Candice wins.
So.
Oh crap! I gotta start writing this down.
We're not gonna. These aren't our predictions just yet. We're just going over this. But the next matchup on the card is the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong.
Oh no, we don't have
Fish,
time to run down the thing before predictions.
Versus the Kings of NXT, Pat McPhee, Pete Dunne, Danny Burch, and Oni Lorcan in War Games. The Kings of NXT had the advantage. A triple threat match for the North American Championship. Leon Ruff versus Johnny Gargano versus Damian Priest. Ruff is the champion. Dexter Lumis versus Cameron Grimes in a strap match. All I can say about this I've heard is, because their blindfold match was terrible and people were hoping it was over. And people were not happy about this. And then Timothy Thatcher versus Tommaso Ciampa in a singles match. Which, yeah. I'm going with Tommaso Ciampa. That's actually a prediction right now.
I can't get to it. We got to go through it. One by one.
Yes, we're going to start with this one.
Why are we starting with 5?
Because
you start at number 1.
We're starting at number 5 because we know one of the War Games matches is going to be the closer.
I say open the show with one right after the other.
And the one will open the show. It'll probably be the women's. And hopefully we can have all the women in the baby faces one enter the cage this time and not have your entire heels get beat by 2 people like last year.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Rhea Ripley, and I believe it was Candice, who single-handedly beat 4 other women.
Oh, yes, because the other 2 had to leave.
Yes, because Dakota Kai turned on her team, attacked Tegan Knox, who injured her leg, because they didn't want to risk her injuring her actually in a spot. Oh no! 9 months later, she'd
still be injured.
She'd
injured again.
She'd tear her ACL a 3rd time, and they didn't want to put Dakota Kai in because she also just came back from a knee injury. So they buried their entire women's heel division by having 2 women, baby faces go over. And one of the people who's in that matchup who helped do that is in the matchup again, but her stardom has faded.
Oh
Rhea
no!
Ripley. And she's actually even stated that that feud with Charlotte has hurt her.
Well, a feud with Charlotte's always going to hurt you.
Yes. But we're going to start with Timothy Thatcher and Tommaso Ciampa. I'm going with Tommaso Ciampa.
Okay, why?
Because it's Tommaso Ciampa.
And?
It's going to be a good fight. This feud is to make Timothy Thatcher look like a badass and a hard, like he can take punishment. But in the end, he's still going to lose to Tommaso Ciampa.
Okay.
Help building him up by getting him over that way. Like, you know how AEW does it. You can still get over and loss. Because NXT still does that sometimes. Not as much lately. Because they're pressured from, how dare you lose to AEW, so you got to do the stupid booking that WWE does and non-finishes. Just so you can have star power matchups to hopefully get the ratings, which isn't working.
No. All right, I am taking Timothy Thatcher.
Okay.
Because you didn't take him.
Okay. So our first pick, we're at odds.
Yes, we are. I am definitely at odds with you.
It'll be interesting to see if this holds up. So, our next matchup is Dexter Lumis versus Cameron Grimes in a strap match. This is for your pick, Adam.
Yeah, I know.
I don't care, honestly.
I'm going to go with Cameron Grimes here.
In that case, I'm going to go with Dexter Lumis. Honestly, I could see Grimes winning here. I don't care. From what I've heard of this feud, and people are just groaning and wanted to be over this terrible blindfold match.
Yeah.
Like, I literally heard, like, people, like, the downs...
Blindfold matches are terrible.
Well, yeah. But, like, I literally heard people who were groaning when they saw him come out last week, Dexter Lumis, and threw a strap and, like, oh, they're going to have the fight, a takeover matchup because this feud can't end. Like, no... yeah.
So the reason that I'm taking Cameron Grimes is because I have seen more of his merch. Orders for his merch. Very recent.
Mm-hmm.
So
I can see that. I don't know. I honestly don't know what they're doing. I think they want Dexter Lumis to be a big star. I don't think the gimmick he's doing is getting over.
No.
As much as they were hoping it would.
Cameron Grimes as the cowboy is getting over.
No. He's not as a cowboy. As a backwoods redneck.
Yeah, all of his
moonshine.
Yeah, but except for the fact that all of his gear, not his gear, but
his merch.
His merch, the shirts that we're printing, all of them are basically like, this guy likes being a cowboy. And I'm like, yeah, that's not the character that you have, though.
I know.
He should be driving a fast car, keeping away from the cops, and moonshining.
Yeah, because his whole thing is, I'm going to take it to the moon. Just like, and he says it like that.
I know.
I don't get it. I haven't seen anything of his work, any of his work that impresses me. So I know some people he got over in TNA. Impact was there, but again, he didn't really achieve too much over there. I don't see much in him, but I can always be I could be wrong. But what I've seen so far from NXT, I'm not. Our next matchup is for the North American Championship, the only championship being defended so far that we know of.
Yeah, it's weird.
So we have the NXT North American Champion Leon Ruff versus Johnny Gargano and Damian Priest in a triple threat match. And by the way, Kevin Owens being Kevin Owens, mocking how everything happens. Not last night, but the week before when this match was announced.
Yes.
On the Kevin Owens show, literally saying, "Well, you say no, don't say his name. Oh, now he has to." And then the music hit. He was basically telling Leon Ruff, like, be more confident. You're the NXT North American Champion. So he gets up. It's like, yeah, I beat Johnny Gargano. Like, oh God, you say his name. Now he has to. And then Johnny Gargano music comes, and then he says something. And he says, "Well, Damian Priest." He's like, "Oh God."
Damian Priest music
and
hits.
Owens reacting to the like.
Stop saying people's names.
And then it's like they're arguing, saying like, "Well, now we just need the more typical WWE person to come out and Teddy Long to make it a match." It's like, well, Teddy Long makes tag team matches. Holla. It's like, and then out comes William Regal. You have a triple threat match for the North American Champion at Wargames.
So I just want to point this out. Kevin Owens did this.
Kevin Owens doing Kevin Owens, whatever his interview thing is, the Kevin Owens show on NXT. So
I keep forgetting that Kevin Owens isn't on like just the main roster. He's also appearing in NXT.
He was doing commentary, and then he did a Kevin Owens show as well for the night.
Yeah,
and he was.
I thought there was a bit from Wrestle Talk with Luke Owens.
No.
And you just got the wrong name.
No. This was literally Kevin Owens, and he being very Kevin Owens, mocking how WWE does, and this is how you know Triple H has a sense of humor. He will allow a talent to do something like this and play along mocking what happens because it's like
it's so formulaic.
It's formulaic in a sense. Even NXT has their own formulaic on how things work, but allowing some to point that out and have fun with it.
Oh yeah,
makes it somewhat fresh. But it's again allowing Star to be who they are, unlike WWE's.
Here's your script.
You can be exactly who you are, but you got to read the script how we tell you to read the script. If I wouldn't read the script, you said I can be who I am. Yes, you can be exactly who you are.
This is who you are.
You don't understand. We'll allow you to be who you are. Vince tells you who you are.
And then you can be who you are.
Exactly.
All right. So that triple threat match, who you got?
This is a tough one because you could go, but I'm going to go with Leon Ruff. I'm saying he's retaining.
Really? Really?
This whole thing, the title change, the last few title changes since Priest won it have been roughly short. I do like how there's been constant title changes, back at change and everything for storyline and all that. It works. I like it.
Yeah.
Especially how Johnny was trying to stop his first title defense losses, and he didn't, and it was Leon Ruff who got it. But I think they're gonna keep the belt on him. I don't know if he'll have a very long run, but I think they're gonna keep the belt on him just for right now.
Okay.
And it's a great way to say this is a mid-card championship. By keeping it on him, because Johnny, you can always put him in the main event whenever you want to. Priest is still being developed to be pushed in that main event. He's not ready for it yet.
What are you talking about? It's Punishment Martinez.
It's Damian Priest. It's in NXT.
Once again, somebody gets their name completely changed after being with another company for a while.
Well, that's because of that. I've noticed when they bring indie talent in, if their name gets changed these days, they look at the name as it is, and if there's value to it.
Yeah.
Punishment Martinez, his name it wasn't as known as
it's
much.
huge.
So
it's the greatest name ever.
They did let him use it his first few appearances.
And then there's AJ Styles. That's a terrible name.
I know.
Who wants to be called Alan Jones Styles?
I know.
Nobody likes that.
Who do I want to be called the phenomenal one? Really?
It's more the wee nominal one.
So, who do you have?
I've got Punishment Martinez.
You're going with Damian Priest.
No, I'm going with Punishment Martinez.
Well, then you lose this
Punishment
one.
Martinez is going to come out from the back room after hitting Damian Priest with a chair. Come out and be like, that's right, I'm the real one. That was just a terrible clone. And that will be the story for him from then on. Punishment Martinez and Damian Priest will be considered two different characters. One of them is an evil twin.
Wow.
You need to decide.
Okay.
Next up. Yes, I am going with Damian Priest. That's a real thing.
All right. A good choice.
Yeah.
If they make him a 2-time.
Yeah.
If Johnny wins, he'll be a 3-time, by the way.
See, I want to see another run between Johnny and Damian after this.
I think that we will. I think the story is going there, but I think it'll be a non-title. Then the winner will go for the title, and they will be the one who gets the belt.
Or it could go the other way. I don't know.
Only time will tell.
All right. Next match is the Undisputed Era Wargames match. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and Bobby Fish taking on
the Kings of NXT.
Team McAfee. Actually, you know what? It's McAfee. Oh, what's the antivirus?
Yeah.
Pat McAfee. McAfee.
It's McAfee.
It's McAfee.
Pat McAfee.
Pete Dune. Danny Burch.
Oh, dude, he is jacked, like in super great shape right now.
And O'Neill Lorcan. If you can't tell, screw that team. Undisputed Era, right there.
I'm gonna go with the Kings of NXT because they're the new heel stable and they need to win. They need a big victory here.
No, because it's Pat. So you're going with Pat? Yes,
they're the new big
Team
stable.
McAfee.
And let's be
McAfee.
honest, Undisputed Era loses in War Games.
Shh.
They've won one.
Undisputed Era.
Dude, we're literally back to the very first time they did the War Games. You said no, they're gonna lose. I said no, they need a big victory as a new stable. Who won? Undisputed Era. But every other War Game since they have lost.
I stand by my bro Adams. You guys know it. You know how it is. Us Adams, we got to stick together. All right. And our final match that we're predicting here, it's another War Games match.
Which will probably be the one that opens the show because, women in the main event have no place there.
Yeah.
Even though NXT likes to say that they will.
They're so progressive.
They can, but
we allowed them to have a Wargames match.
Yeah.
See how progressive they are? So we got Team Shotzi, Shotzi Blackheart, Ember Moon, Rhea Ripley, and Io Shirai versus Team Candice, Candice LeRae, Dakota Kai, Raquel Gonzalez, and Toni Storm. I feel like I've already done this already.
Yeah. So, Adam, who are you going to pick on this one?
Oh, I'm taking Team Shotzi.
You're taking Team Shotzi?
Taking Team Shotzi.
Dang, that's a good... I can understand that one. I'm going to have to disagree with you. I'm going to go with Team Candice on this one.
So we have not agreed on a single match this time.
So there will be a winner.
Because there's 5 matches, even if we split every one of them.
Yep, there'll be one match.
Somebody has to win.
Someone has to win. And then we have our question that we can fuck it all. No, we're not going
to. Okay, thank you.
I don't have a question I could put here that would be other than, will there be an NXT debut? And no, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't care,
don't
honestly.
care.
The debut I care about already happened. It was Sting.
Exactly.
And then the other debut I care about is not going to happen in NXT. It's going to happen on Impact with Kenny Omega.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that Impact.
So, yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. There you go. You have our War Games predictions. Let us know down in the comment section what you thought of our predictions. But more importantly, let us know what your thoughts are of this alliance between Impact and AEW.
Yeah.
Do you think at some point by the end of 2021 we will have New Japan part of this?
Will we?
Will Ring of Honor come along with them, or will that be a separate thing? What are your thoughts on Sting finally coming to AEW? Are you excited that he's there? Do you think he should wrestle? If so, who do you think he should wrestle? Let us know that down in the comment section. Also, dealing with the Sting thing, do you think them AEW bringing in Sting is like WWE bringing their legends and relying on them? We know our answer. No.
Because they're not trying to put the belt on them.
No, because they use the legends they bring in, smartly to get over new talent, not to have old talent to get a ratings pop and crush their current talent.
Yep.
Because you know why Vince doesn't like new talent, right? You know why, right, Adam? 'Cause that'd be a change, and you know how boomers, they don't like change.
Change is terrible.
Change is terrible. If Vince could book Hogan for the rest of his career, or rest of his life, he would, because he would have never changed.
Yeah, that's,
so
that's a thing.
But that's all we have for you, ladies and gentlemen. So we made it to the end of the long podcast. This absolutely huge, explosive,
boom,
episode of As the Buckle Turns. Go ahead and give us a thumbs up.
There it is.
You know you want to.
Thank you so much for hitting that button.
You know you want to. Come on. You listen to an hour and a half. Over an hour and a half. Have we hit that yet?
Almost an hour and a half.
Almost an hour and a half podcast. Give us a thumbs up. You're liking what you're listening to. Come on. And even if you didn't make it this far, still give us a thumbs up, even though you didn't hear us say it.
I hate you because now you're going to force me to put 3 thumbs ups in this.
Yes, I am. I'm going to make Adam do some work.
No, screw you. This is supposed to be like basically one picture the entire time.
Gotta make Adam do some work. Gotta make him earn his AEW paycheck that he still hasn't given me money for, according to the napkin. The 60-page napkin that exists.
It's not real.
I'm just gonna keep adding napkin count every time now. Since you're gonna give us a thumbs up and it's right next to it, go on and hit that subscribe button.
Ding!
Ring that bell.
Ding. Ding.
Well, that sucked. Make sure you hit that notification button so you turn on all notifications so you know when all other Zop Gaming content go live. Adam?
Yes.
Have a good night.
Thank you. You too, sir.
Get bent in your face.
Oh.